having another tremendous
Jaxson
effort
Dart
coming out there. You already know how I feel. I know how you feel, man. I don't know you want to take the floor, man.
Jaxson Dart needs to start. Everybody get on this train. The reason I say this is because there's nothing that is gained seeing Russell Wilson. This kid is playing and he's showing you that he is competent enough to start an NFL game. He's competent enough to give some juice and some life. And if I'm going by performance, the kid had a good performance. He came in unbothered, throws a screen pass with that great arm angle, goes down to Theo Johnson. Boom. You already know that he's got some chops to him. Then he comes in and the offense just clicks and moves and just goes up and down the field. Bing, 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 boom. And he's bringing some energy and some juice that Russell Wilson, I don't think at this level can bring. And the thing that alarms me that nobody talks about is that we just talked about Wan'Dale Robinson and how, well, he had bad quarterback play, and we always have this argument about, well, is it the offensive line? Is the quarterback? Is it both? Usually it's right down the middle. It's a little bit of both. The guy is not as good as we think. The team is not as good as we think. Where am I going with this? What I'm saying is Russell Wilson last year, yes, did he have a bad offensive line? But he was ordinary last year. And if you watch the first half of this game, you saw exactly what I saw. Russell Wilson makes the bomb, dink, dunk, and then they didn't do anything against a defense while solid, right? While solid, didn't have their starters in the way it should be. So for me, I needed to see that offense go up and down the field. They struggled a little bit to establish the run. They had some drops, yes, but Russell Wilson didn't have the same juice. Then Dart comes in and bing, bang, boom, 13 straight passes, touchdown, we're in the end zone. And he got another touchdown with a rushing aspect. And he did an awesome touchdown fake where he faked the RPO and throw it. He has a little bit more juice in his legs. He brings a little bit more energy. The kid shows you he's competent. Brian Dable, who we know can make a game plan that fits him properly, so he's not going to be exposed like other people. I know other people are talking about, well, we need the process. We need to wait for him. You have a guy that's understood quarterbacks. He's not going to put this guy in a position where he's going to fail, right? This is his MO. We have to trust Dable in what he's doing with this kid. And that the fact that if he were to start, because I believe he's outplayed Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson, who outplayed a guy they brought in for $65 million in Seattle, got the start. This guy who you invested a first-round pick in is at the same level, if not on the same level as Russell Wilson. Why can't he get a start? Why can't it be an open competition? You didn't pay Russell Wilson an exorbitant amount of money to be your starter. As a matter of fact, he's the lowest starter in the league, and he's got essentially backup money, okay? Daniel Jones is making more money than Russell Wilson right now, okay? And so, to me, all it tells me is the Giants know that they have a short lease on Russ, and it's a matter of when. Well, if you know that you're gonna pull the plug on this kid already, and he's gonna get snaps anyways, you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and let this offensive line, who you is putting out there that's guarding Russ, let this offensive line get this kid and cook and let him grow and have the resources that we have with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. If you keep these guys as his resource and his blanket to fall back on, not many other teams have done that in their history. That's why guys fail. If you look at Cam Ward down there, they have nobody down there for him. He has nobody to lean on but his own experience and his head coach that's been there for 2 years, right? So I understand everybody's side of it. To me, the kid's played well enough to earn himself the starting role, and you should go from there. That's all.
Here's my thing. I think the kids played well enough that we now feel comfortable knowing that we got our future quarterback on this roster. That's what I feel like I know. But I'm still not ready to just throw him out there to the Wolves week 1 against Washington on the road. And I'm just not ready to do that. I'm not ready to do that when you got Russell Wilson and James Winston on the roster. I mean, I feel like what was even the point of bringing both of those guys in if we're going to throw a rookie out there when you can have him on this roster still continuing to learn and absorb? Because look, I think they put it best. What was I listening to? I think it was the Big Blue Kickoff Live, whatever, the Giants on the Giants podcast show. listening to them earlier, and like they said, I think they said it beautifully. So it was like they said the preseason is like checkers, the regular season is chess. It's just not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same energy.
Right.
And hold on. It's not the same energy. And the fact of the matter is, he's not seeing in this preseason what he's going to see in the regular season. Not even close. I mean, not even close. So right now, while you have a Russell Wilson and a James Wilson on this roster, let this kid continue to learn, because you now know, because you have seen enough of what he's done. You do know he is it. He is the future it. And you know he's the future. We obviously know Russ ain't the future. James ain't the future here by no means. Jaxson Dart is that. But why put him out there right now when you don't have to? We do now have the luxury of sitting him for a little bit and letting him continue to learn and understand and really get a full command of what's going on. Because like I said, he has not seen anything like what he's going to see in the regular season out there at all. It's just that's just a fact. So he needs to continue to learn and absorb, and it's great what we've seen. And I can agree with that. It's great what we've seen, but I don't think she just throw him out there.
Well, look, I'm going to counter it with this. First off, no bad end tackles. We didn't know who we were going to get before the draft, if anyone. Right. So you signed Russell Wilson for what? Because you don't know you're going to draft. You know you're going to draft a quarterback. You don't know when, where, who, or what. Right. But if you look at this team, they wanted to go after Matthew Stafford. Now, if you had told me that Matthew Stafford were on this team and not Russell Wilson, you went and you paid the exorbitant amount of money that you went and got him, and you still decided to draft Jaxson Dart, I could see the red shirt year happening. I can say, you know what, Matthew Stafford's here 2 years. I can see it happen. Dart's young enough to do it. However, you didn't go that route. You went the bargain basement route. You signed two guys, Jameis Winston, $4 million each year to be a backup, a long-term backup, and a spot starter. And you signed Russell Wilson for no more money. You could have given him money like Aaron Rodgers and given money like Daniel Jones, $14 million. That guy got $10.5 million with the incentives if he plays, which the Giants know he's not going to make those incentives, because if he does, the Giants have won the Super Bowl or damn near going to $21.5 million. Now, if Russell Wilson, who I believe is not going to play lights out, I don't know what Russell Wilson you guys think you're getting here, but we're not getting the Russell Wilson that played in Seattle. We got a Russell Wilson that's been a journeyman quarterback on two teams already and has been roughly average. Okay, so to me, I'm not really worried about seeing that Russell Wilson out there. Am I excited for him? Does he bring a calmness?
It's not about seeing Russell Wilson. It's about the fact that at least you know Russell Wilson is experienced enough. He already know what he brings as far as from that standpoint. Let him navigate through some of the rough waters in the beginning part of the season, and then if it gets to that point, then you can bring Jaxson Dart in, but let him ease his way in. I feel like throwing him out there right from the beginning in the regular season is just, that's a lot to put on any rookie. I mean, it just.
But Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May,
but those are different situations. They didn't have this on their rock. They didn't have this. You think Jaden Daniels would have been the guaranteed starting quarterback if they had an established vet there already that could take the snaps in the beginning of the year?
They had Marcus Mariota there. They had Marcus Mariota.
That's not the same.
That's not the same. Hold on. What Russell? No. I'm sorry. What Russell Wilson do you think we're getting? Because the Russell.
I think he's still better. I think he's still better than Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
Right now, I think he's still a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota.
I think he's just an average quarterback that people are happy about because the crappy quarterback play that we've seen the last 6 years. I will agree with you that the quarterback play has been bad. Russell Wilson brings that. But there is no way, and even Pat Leonard said it, the Giants are juiced. They love Jaxson Dart. The only thing that's stopping them is probably because they're all scared like everybody else to start a guy. But if the guy comes out and is playing at the level, if not better than the starter, I'm not going to sit him back here and worry about, oh my God, you got Washington. You just told me Washington defense wasn't that good. So if anything, I'm not worried about playing him against Washington, maybe against Kansas City or LA, I would be worried about. But at that point, it's too late. I've already ripped the Band-Aid off and I'm diving right in. My point is, I believe if you're going to start this kid, Brian Daboll has an idea of what he can do. And Brian Daboll knows what he can't do. And he can make an offense that fits his needs with a quarterback that's back there. The the interesting thing that Zion said, Aaron Rodgers, they were in the playoffs. So they had the luxury of waiting to get their quarterback. Kansas City, the luxury of waiting because they were in the playoffs. They drafted their quarterback. We were not in the playoffs last year. We were 3-14. We don't necessarily have the luxury of bringing in an average veteran who couldn't make it in Pittsburgh. All right. He didn't get any offers outside of the Giants. So it's not like anyone's banging down Russell Wilson's door to get him starting in the league. And he's been average. Now, I like Russell Wilson and what he brings as a leader and what he does. But he is who he is. He's going to throw up this is what he did in Pittsburgh. And this is why he got kicked out in Pittsburgh. He throws up a deep ball every once in a while and he checks it down and he's average with the offense. So if I'm going to get that play that I see from Russell Wilson, and I know that I got a guy behind me that's the future, I'm not going to sit here and wait and give him a redshirt year. I'm going to throw him in and say, hey, kid, we invested in you. We believe in you. We got 2 guys behind you that are going to help you through this process. We built an offense around Daniel fucking Jones to succeed. I think they can build an offense around Jaxson Dart to start some games. And to me, I'm excited as a Giant fan to see what Jaxson Dart can do. I'm not worried about, if he's going to be thrown to the wolves because everybody else was thrown to the wolves. And it's circumstance that helps you out, not necessarily what you do. Because circumstances, Jaden Daniels went to Washington and they put in a team around him to keep him in place to do what they needed to do, right? And if you look at what they're doing in New England, that's a team they could easily have had a starting quarterback. They didn't. They fucking let Jacoby Brissett in. They knew that Drake May was better, and they started him. All these teams,
but not from the beginning. They still let Brissett take them lumps in the beginning, didn't they? Exactly what they did. Brissett took those lumps in the beginning.
Right, but I don't care about that because I can see that Dart can play right now, and I want to see him play and develop and not worry about Russell Wilson because he's not getting paid that much money. Hell, he ain't even here next year. So, worst case scenario, I have a good backup quarterback in Russell Wilson. Best case scenario, my kid is learning now from a future Hall of Famer, and I don't got to worry about nothing because he hits the ground running. I just don't understand why some teams can start their quarterback, and we have to wait for Russell Wilson, who, by the way, hasn't been a great quarterback the last 3 years. He's been average at best. And he's been,
I hear that. I get that, Adam. But the point is not about Russell Wilson. It's about Jaxson Dart and letting him just. He can take these opportunities right now. And he can learn and absorb more. He can absorb more, and he can learn some things from the sideline. And when he's ready, then you can insert him into the lineup and let it be a little more seamlessly. I mean, it can just be more. Look,
right now,
it's just
right now. This is Pat Leonard and all these guys are saying he is out producing. The team loves him. He's ahead of the curve. Right. So why not just go out there and let him learn and take his lumps with a guy behind him already? If he didn't have anybody there and the Giants are forced in here, would we be having this discussion? Probably not. But Russell Wilson is not a guy that should be stopping me from putting in Jaxson Dart if he is the better player and gives me the better chance to win. Because right now
I'm not convinced we really know that though, Adam. Like you're saying, like Jaxson Dart, like I said, it's been great. But he trust me, like I said, what I'm telling you is, like I said, regular season energy is different. If you got an opportunity to let this kid learn a little bit more and build him up, still continue to build him up, then allow that to happen. I mean, we should right now. I feel like I said, I feel good. I didn't feel good about the pick initially back in May. I wasn't thrilled with the pick initially. He has absolutely grown on me. I feel good about him being the future of this franchise. I absolutely do. We're going to see him this season at some point. That's a fact. We are going to see him at some point this season, regardless. But the point is, let him learn a little bit more going into this season, man. It's no rush to throw him out there week 1, week 2. I mean, this is no rush to do that right now, and then potentially shake his confidence if things go left. That's what we don't need because we see what this kid has. We see this kid can do it. He definitely has the ability. He's got all that. He's great. He's great off the field, talking in interviews with the mic in his hand. With a mic in front of his face. He's good on the field. He makes good decisions. I get that, but come on. I mean, let's face it. the Giants put themselves in a situation where maybe this isn't so bad after all, where this kid can sit for a little bit without having to rush him out there because you have a Russell Wilson and a Winston on this roster. There's just, to me, just no, I just don't see the reason in rushing this kid out there. I mean, it just, to me, I mean, look, I just don't see it. And I feel like he's going to benefit more from sitting for a little bit. I just feel like there's no need to throw him out there right away.
And I feel different. I feel, that it is one thing in March when we're signing Russell Wilson, and you're like, all right, now we don't have to get a quarterback and rush or force the pick, right? And then they went up and got and invested in a first round pick in Jaxson Dart, and they pay a guy $10.5 million, one of the lowest starting quarterback salaries. It tells me how they feel already about Russell Wilson. All right. And they could have not drafted, they could have drafted a guy later on and said, you know what, Russ, we want to cook with you. But now you have forced Russ to now play at a higher level. From what I've seen, I haven't seen much of him the last 2 seasons that is making me say anything other than, okay, this guy is average right now. He's not the Russ that everyone I think is. Maybe it's me, seeing this, and maybe Russ will prove me wrong. But I haven't seen this spectacular Seattle Russ. I saw a guy who can get in and out of the offense, who holds the ball a little too long, that'll occasionally take a deep shot here and there. Okay. And then I got a guy in here that needs the experience, that has a good infrastructure right now to go in there. And I think is playing at the level of the quarterback that's in front of him. I just say give him his chance and let's see what happens. I can't be worried about the training wheels at this point. If he were not doing well or need to be further along, fine, I would say. But I think he's closing the gap in certain things. And the only way he's going to learn, especially against our defense, is going up against other defenses and seeing how that works out. And that's just me. I mean, I believe that Dable needs to shave his job. And if they go 1-3, at that point, to me, it doesn't even matter. At that point, you're probably out of the playoff hunt. They need to be 500. They need to be 500 or better after the first 4 for me to keep Russ in. If you are not, goodbye. So you guys want Russ? Fine, have Russ. I'll concede. I'll concede the victory to you guys. I don't agree with him. I don't think that this kid needs to be held with kid gloves, especially since I've seen Dable navigate a team with a quarterback that has far less talent than he does. So that's just me. But if you guys want to see Russell Wilson, let's hope that he's the Russ that you hope he is, and not the one that I think I've seen. That's all.
I mean, I just feel like with a guy like Russell Wilson, I think there's no need because, like I said, we all know he's not the Seattle guy, but at the end of the day, he's still a starting quarterback in this league, and this could be the year for him to prove that he is still truly a starting quarterback in this league. I still think right now, you look down all the list of starting quarterbacks, he's still not the worst. He's not the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. So I feel like he's still a guy that's a starting caliber quarterback in this league, and I think it's just not. It's just you got a guy like him. Let him start the season off. Let the rookie run. That's it. That's all I got. I mean, just trust the process. And I feel like this is a process, and I feel like they have a plan in place. And I feel like that's what the plan is. Let this guy really make sure he's 100% comfortable and ready to go before you throw him out there. Because you throw him out there and it goes left, to me, that can derail the kid. That's just how I feel about that. It can absolutely derail the kid. But
I hope he's the Russell Wilson you guys believe.
It's not about Russell Wilson. I don't think he's the Russell Wilson that I feel like he is. He's just a regular guy. I don't think he's anything special anymore. I'm not saying that. I think he's something special when he just gives us so much of a better chance to do this and do that.
I don't know.
I'm just saying he's a starting quarterback in this league still, and he's still a guy that right now I'm not necessarily ready to play my rookie over top of him right now. I'm just having. I mean, Jaxson Dart showed me something, but I can't say he's shown me so much that I just throw him out there over Russell Wilson right now when you got Russell Wilson sitting on your squad.
I guess we won't agree on this, and I mean, you guys are going to win anyways. You're going to get the victory in terms of watching Russell Wilson, and I just hope, like I said, the process is that this guy does what you guys are hoping that he does, because if he doesn't and Jaxson Dart comes out and is cooking and looking good and making the right throws and learning, and we sat here and said, well, we had to wait to Russ. We had to wait to make sure the Russ was cooked before we got him out the game. So, it is what it is.
And I mean, Bookend said the best here. There's an argument for both sides. It really is. I mean, it's not that I just fully disagree with a lot of what you're saying. I just feel like I think they put themselves in a position now where they can let the kid. They don't have to be. They put themselves in a position where they don't have to rush the kid on the field. That's how I feel. They put themselves in a position where they don't have to. Why not force the issue?
And I'm saying if the kid is doing good, if not good or better than Russell Wilson at practice or on his level, to me, there's no reason for me to see the veteran. I understand I get what you're saying, no rush, we don't have to do anything, the luxury. That's what you get for having a luxury. And somebody said, oh, what does it matter about he signed in March? Yeah, he signed in March to a $10 million deal. It's not like they gave him, $30 million like they gave Sam Darnold or $20 million that they gave Justin Fields. They gave the guy a low contract, meaning that they don't have that much faith in what he can do. And he has incentives to make $21.5 million. But let's be honest, that $11.5 million, he's not going to see probably a dime, if not maybe half of it, if he does well. I don't know what's in those incentives, but I damn sure know that he's not walking away with more than probably 11 or $12 million. All right, because he knows his time is up as well. And all I'm trying to say is, if Jaxson Dart is playing the same way that I'm using the Russell Wilson logic. If he's playing just that, if not better, and give the team a better chance to win, and that's the coach who decides that, then by all means he should start. It started with Matt Flynn. How come we can use Russell Wilson when it's convenient to use Russell Wilson? Now we can say that Russell Wilson beat out Matt Flynn, but then I look at Jaxson Dart, who is ranked higher than Russell Wilson coming out. Can't beat out an aging Russell Wilson. That's all I'm saying. Make it be an even competition. Let them both play out and let the best player win. Don't just give a guy a job because you're giving the guy a job to keep the seat warm. Make the guy earn the job. If that kid outplays Wilson, then he should be the fucking starter. That's all I'm saying. It's a competition, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's going to be fun. It'll be fun to watch. We'll see how it does all ultimately play out. At the end of the day, the argument is kind of a moot point because Russell Wilson will be starting against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, he's 40 years old, bro.
So, I mean, it doesn't. It's fun to talk about. It's all good. Like I said, it's validity on both sides of the argument for sure.
So how do we know that Russell Wilson proved that he was better? Like in practice, right? They're doing the same thing. They're both executing. They're having decent practices, both of them. I don't understand how you're proving it.
I mean, so it's just that's what it is. It's not a quarter. It hasn't really been an open competition. It's been just Russell Wilson, you're our starting quarterback. It's actually been that from the door. So it's been a known. That's been a known thing. So let's watch it all unfold. Watch it all develop. We'll see. I think the one thing I will say for certain and for sure, Jaxson Dart definitely did shorten the leash for Russell Wilson. That's for damn sure. He definitely shortened the leash, regardless. So it just was like we said. We will see. We'll see how it all plays out ultimately when the season gets underway. Go ahead, Ric Flair. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, MacDaGiantsFan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at MacDaGiantsFan. That's MacDa Giants Fan.